Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Today, we're diving deep into some seriously mind-bending territory remote viewing. We're talking about accessing information about people, places, or events beyond our normal senses. It's like something straight out of science fiction, but people have been exploring this stuff for decades. CIA, military intelligence, all sorts of folks have been interested in it. And today we're going to break it down step by step so you can start exploring your own remote viewing abilities. So buckle up because this one's going to be wild. All right, so you want to start remote viewing. The first thing you need is a target. This is what you're going to try to see with your mind. You need something concrete, something with a specific location in space and time. Now, for beginners, pictures work great. Have a buddy grab a stack of magazines and pick out some random images. The key is you don't want to know what these pictures are ahead of time. Once they've got their stack, have them paste each picture onto a blank sheet of paper. This keeps things nice and controlled, no peeking. Okay, so now you've got your target pictures, but you can't see them yet. This is where it gets interesting. Have your friend gather up those pictures, face down of course, and slip them into an envelope. Big, opaque envelope. We don't want any accidental glimpses. The goal here is to eliminate any bias, any chance of you consciously or subconsciously knowing what the image is before you start. We're talking about tapping into something beyond the ordinary here, and any little bit of information you have beforehand can throw you off. So envelope sealed, mystery maintained, we're ready to move on. All right, so we've got our targets prepped, the mood is set. Now it's time to get into the right headspace. Remote viewing, it's all about quieting the noise, both internal and external. Find yourself a quiet spot, maybe dim the lights a bit. This isn't about sensory deprivation, it's about minimizing distractions. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. Really focus on your breath, the feeling of the air moving in and out. This is about getting centered, present in the moment. The more you practice, the easier it gets to slip into that calm, focused state. Okay. So you're in the zone, the world's kind of faded away and you're feeling centered, but there might still be some lingering thoughts, that nagging to-do list, that song stuck in your head. Time for one last step before we dive into the unknown. Grab a notebook, pen and paper, old school style. At the top of the page, jot down the date and time. Now just do a quick brain dump. Anything that pops into your head, write it down. Once you've got it all out, take a deep breath, close the notebook. Okay, here we go, the moment of truth. You've got your target envelope in front of you, a mystery waiting to be unraveled. Don't overthink it. Just gently hold the envelope and focus your attention on it. Imagine your mind reaching out, connecting with the image inside. Now, what's your initial gut feeling? Don't try to force anything, just let the impressions come naturally. Is it indoors or outdoors, natural or man-made? Is there a sense of movement or stillness? These initial impressions might be fleeting, so jot them down quickly in your notebook. Trust your intuition, it's more powerful than you think. Now we're getting into the really juicy stuff. See, remote viewing isn't about logic or deduction. It's about tapping into a deeper level of awareness. Your unconscious mind, that's where the magic happens. It's already connected to the target, picking up on information beyond your conscious perception. Your job is to become aware of those subtle signals, those whispers from the deep. Do you feel a change in temperature, a tingling sensation? Maybe a color pops into your mind, or a sound. Remember, your unconscious mind communicates through symbols and sensations. Write it all down, every little detail. Now that you're open to those subtle cues, let's try to flesh them out. Think about the five senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. What information are you getting through each one? If you're seeing flashes of color, what are they? Bright, dull, pastel? Is there a dominant color that stands out? If you're hearing something, is it loud, soft, high-pitched, low-pitched? Can you place the sound? Is it close or far away? Remember, you're trying to describe the target as accurately as possible. The more detail you can provide, the better. Sometimes the craziest impressions turn out to be the most accurate. All right, time to get visual. grab your pen and paper again and let's try to capture this thing on paper. Now, I'm no artist and that's okay. This isn't about creating a masterpiece, it's about translating your impressions into a visual form. Start with basic shapes. Do you see any lines, curves, angles? Is it symmetrical or asymmetrical? Don't worry about making it perfect, just let your hand flow with the impressions you're receiving. As you draw, more details might come through. This sketch, it's like a snapshot of your perception, a visual representation of what your unconscious mind is picking up. You've been focusing on the target from a single perspective, but what if we shifted that view? Close your eyes and imagine yourself lifting up, up, up above the target. You're like a hawk, circling overhead, getting a wider view of the scene. What do you notice from this new vantage point? Can you see the surrounding environment? Are there any other objects or structures nearby? Maybe you were focused on a single tree, but now you see it's part of a dense forest. Or maybe you were looking at a building and now you see it's part of a bustling city. These broader perspectives can add valuable layers of information to your remote viewing session. All right, take a deep breath, come back to the room. The remote viewing session is coming to a close, but we're not done yet. Before you move on, it's important to document your experience. In your notebook, write a brief summary of what you perceived. What were the strongest impressions you received? Did you notice any patterns or recurring themes? Did any of the information surprise you? This summary helps solidify the experience in your memory and provides valuable data for future analysis. Here we go, the moment you've been waiting for, the reveal. Open up that envelope and take a look at the target you were trying to remote view. How'd you do? Did you nail it? Were you way off? Don't worry if your impressions don't perfectly match the target, especially in the beginning. Remember, this is a process of discovery, and every session is a learning experience. Compare your notes and sketches to the target image. Look for any similarities, no matter how small. Did you accurately perceive the basic shape or color? Did any of your sensory impressions match up? Even if it's just a small detail, celebrate those victories. You're on the right track. Now that you've got one session under your belt, it's time to keep the momentum going. You've still got those other target pictures in the envelope. Remember, each one is a fresh opportunity to hone your skills and explore the depths of your perception. Go through the entire process again. Quiet your mind, connect with the target, and document your impressions. As you gain experience, you might find that certain techniques work better for you than others. Maybe you're a natural at sketching, or maybe you receive the clearest information through your sense of touch. Experiment, adapt, and most importantly, have fun with it. The more you practice, the more you'll discover about your own unique abilities. Look, I know it can be tempting to get caught up in the results, to focus on being right all the time, but here's the thing. Remote viewing isn't about proving anything. It's about exploring the unknown, expanding your awareness, and tapping into a different way of perceiving reality. So let go of the need to be perfect. Embrace the mystery. Enjoy the process of discovery. Because even if you never perfectly see a target, the journey itself is incredibly rewarding. You're pushing the boundaries of your own consciousness, and that's pretty damn cool. So there you have it. A crash course in the world of remote viewing. We've covered a lot of ground, from selecting targets to interpreting your impressions. But this is just the beginning, man. The real learning happens when you start putting these techniques into practice. Don't be discouraged if you don't get it right away. Remember, even the most experienced remote viewers started somewhere. The key is to be patient, persistent, and most importantly, curious. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of what you think is possible. So there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the world of remote viewing. It's some wild stuff, right? Remember, this is a journey, not a destination. It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes a willingness to let go of your preconceived notions about what's possible. But the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. Embrace the unknown. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride. And until next time, keep those minds open.